No Buy January's here, and I swear all the stuff I bought here on this video I bought back in December, so stay tuned to find out what I got. Hey guys, welcome into another haul video number 132. So hope you guys are having a great day, great week, great year. Happy New Year. This is the second video to come out here in 2023. So hope you guys had a great holiday season, great New Year. Yeah, really excited today. As I mentioned, I'm in the middle of No Buy January for me this month. So I am just catching up on building. Been reading a lot lately. Really been on a pretty good clip with my reading of my comics. And yeah, just really excited to go over some stuff here. So we'll go through it with the sections, but some of the stuff is Christmas gifts that I got from, my family and my girlfriend, stuff like that. And then some of it was stuff that I picked up from IST. A lot of my IST orders all shipped at once, and of course were delivered when I was out of town. But thank God they were all kind of delivered, or they were all delivered and nothing was stolen, so thank God for that. But we'll go through that as well. Don't have any trading cards for this haul video, unfortunately, so yeah, we'll have to look at that next time. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into these sections here, starting with the comics. All right, guys, welcome into the comics section here for haul video number 132. So as I mentioned, a lot of the stuff is IST orders that were shipped late. But before I get to that, I do want to talk about what I've been reading. So since the last time I've gone on one of these haul videos, I've actually read a lot. I've finished all of Gotham Central, so I've finished reading all that. I then transitioned into some smaller books that were on my list. I read Daredevil Parts of a Whole. That was a hole in my reading collection there for Daredevil, which was really cool. Actually, it featured Echo, which obviously was introduced in the MCU in the Hawkeye show, so that was cool to kind of read through that storyline. And then I jumped into continuing my Infinity Cosmic stuff for Marvel. As I recently showed in a haul video a couple months ago at this point, I did pick up the Infinity Crusade Omnibus, which is right behind me. So I went ahead and actually sat down and read through all that. There were some Iron Man and Thor issues that I already previously read, which I skipped because I didn't want to read them again. But yeah, overall, just my quick thoughts on Infinity Crusade. Definitely the weakest of the three Infinity storylines, Gauntlet, War, and Crusade. Yeah, I honestly felt like it was pretty convoluted in the beginning, just a lot of sitting around thinking about what the people were going to do. But it picked up towards the end. I thought the ending of it was more satisfactory than the beginning, obviously. But I would say, the omnibus is kind of overkill. And it's interesting how they, excuse me, it's interesting how they organized it. They put the main Infinity Crusade storyline at the beginning of the omnibus, which makes sense, right? You had the Infinity Crusade issues, the Warlock Chronicles, and the Infinity Watch issues, which all three of them kind of tie in and make the story what it is. But then basically once that story concludes, we then get all the tie-ins at the back, which didn't really make sense for me because all of them are really kind of nestled into different parts of the actual storyline. So I don't know why they didn't just bother to just insert some of these into where they fit chronologically with the story. I guess maybe they thought it was going to be way too much crossovers that the actual story might have felt diluted. But I thought that was an interesting decision there, but I'm not the one who makes the decisions for collected editions, so I guess that's what it is. But yeah, overall, it was pretty average. you know, kind of the same ending, you know, just a bunch of heroes fighting each other. So I felt like it kind of I felt like the Infinity books have shot their shot, and it makes sense that it was kind of ended after that point. So, yeah. So after that, then I'm currently reading a Thor epic collection, Blood and Thunder, which recently came out. And the reason why I'm jumping into that next is because there's a lot of issues from that directly follow the Crusade um, omnibus. So you have like Silver Surfer issues. The Thor storyline picks up directly after the Crusade omnibus. And then you have like Warlock, Infinity Watch stuff. So yeah, definitely gonna be reading that. But and then after that, my plan, I have a pile of books on my desk somewhere over there, is to read the second volume of Infinity Watch, since that directly picks up after the Infinity Watch issues in this Thor epic collection that I'm reading. So I'm gonna read that and then probably finish with Infinity Entity. And I think that's pretty much all of the Infinity books that I will care to read or currently have in my collection, right? A couple months ago, about a month ago at this point, I went back and read all the Thanos stuff I had. So I'm pretty cosmic out at this point with at least with Thanos and Warlock and Pip the Troll and Gamora and Drax. So, but I definitely want to finish this. I just want to say that I've read everything and just collectively have an idea of what all this is about. But yeah, so 4-minute intro aside, sorry about that. That is kind of what I'm up to speed on here with my reading. So more to come there. But anyways, let's go ahead and get on into this giant pile of books that I've collected over the past. This is basically like, I would say probably like a month of collecting. So this is all the books that I ordered like pretty much a month ago, came in. So we'll kind of go over it. But the first book I want to show is actually one that I've already read. And I received it as a Christmas gift from my girlfriend, Monica. And that is Gotham Central, Volume 4, Corrigan. So this one, it went out of print on IST, so it was on Amazon, and you know, she was asking me for some gift ideas, and I'm like, you know what, let me just throw this volume on there. I wasn't in a huge rush to read Gotham Central, but once I got this last volume, I definitely jumped straight into reading this because really excited, you know, really good group of creators here. You got Greg Rucka, Ed Brubaker, Michael Lark was doing the art for the first couple of volumes, but he jumps off the book at this point. But yeah, really great series. I don't think I didn't really say too much about Gotham Central, but I really enjoyed this series. You know, if you love crime noir, or you like just like crime investigation stuff, you're really gonna like this. It basically follows the story of the Gotham Major Crimes Unit, and they basically just go around solving, you know, different murders and stuff like that. And very surprising to see Batman doesn't show up very often in this book, which I gotta give them credit for. You know, they used him very sparsely. You know, they didn't use him too much, which I'm glad. Again, you know, this is not a Batman story. This is more focused on the people who work at the again, the Major Crimes Unit, the MCU. So that's that. So yeah, really excited. Would highly recommend that. I know there's an omnibus out there too if you want to go that route too. It's up to you. All right. So moving on here, some other books. This one, in addition to another book I'll show actually next, so that way I can show both of them together. These two books came from a sale that Barnes & Noble had the day after Christmas. Actually, I think it was the day after Christmas and the 27th. So the 26th and 27th of December, they run these sales where you can basically get all hardcovers for 50% off. So definitely better than IST and a lot of these other sites. So it's nice because it also includes graphic novels. So last year I picked up Habibi by Craig Thompson, which I still have yet to read, but I do want to read that at some point. That was the only book I got last year, but this year I picked up two books. The first one here was Fantastic Four Full Circle by Alex Ross. So obviously, for anyone who's not aware, Alex Ross is strictly like a paint medium artist, and he's done a lot of work, a lot of pinups, and a lot of covers now you'll see are drawn and, you know, illustrated by him. But this was a kind of like an OGN, I would say, and it's harkening back to, I think, the John Byrne era, I want to say, or oh no, it's revisits a Stanley Jack Kirby 1960s storyline. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. Definitely probably not gonna read this now. I'm planning slowly collecting more Fantastic Four epics, and we'll be planning a readathon of Fantastic Four once the movie gets closer. But yeah, really wanted to pick this up. This was a really good deal, and it's interesting. This is a really interesting format for this. It's not a standard hardcover or an oversized hardcover. It's, well, maybe it is. I don't know. It looks a little bit different in size, but really excited to get that for half off. And then the next thing I got there, that sale as well, was something that I kind of made a stretch on, but I always love reading some standalone graphic novels. I do have a couple in my collection here, and I've read a good majority of them. They're a good palate cleanser for, after reading a long run of a character like, Superman or Spider-Man or Iron Man, just nice to sit down and just read like an OGN. And so I picked this one up. I was interested because of the creator, who's Scott McCloud, and that is Sculptor. So this is, I think, like an autobiography or like a, some type of biopic of him. Or maybe it's, maybe it's not, I don't know. But really, really cool. I love the color palette here. It's very muted, just some simple blacks and, dark blues and grays. So yeah, I thought this was interesting. I took a chance on this. Again, Scott McCloud, pretty good creator here. I do own his book, Understanding Comics, so I have not read that yet, but really excited to have his, graphic novel here. Was able to pick that up for half off too, which is a good deal. All right, so getting into some of these IST orders here, we start off with a volume of Firepower that I wanted to pick up. So that was volume 3, titled Flame War. And I think this is the first volume that gets into material that I have not read. I think it was around the 5th or 6th issue that I jumped off the book and just committed myself to collecting this in trade to read. This is Robert Kirkman, Chris Samney, so really great creative team here. This collects issues 7 through 12 of Firepower, so you can see here some interiors there, but yeah, really stellar artwork going on in there, and really hyped to read that whole story. Part of me feels like, I'm already down the trade paperback route, so I might as well just continue to find them and collect them. I found a couple volumes. I think I may have found one at a Second and Charles for like $5, so they're starting to get circulated into those stores, which is good for me because I can save money versus paying a more expensive amount of money for that. But there's that. So all right, moving on here, we get into another Image series that I've been collecting. And again, I did try this out and read this on the podcast I was on Crackle Comics. But again, this is stuff that I have not touched and read yet, and that is Homesick Pilots Volume 3, 3 Chords and the End of the World. So this collects issues 11 through 15 of Homesick Pilots, and again, this is material I have not touched yet, but really good art going on here in colors especially, and yeah, just really excited to read this. I'm not sure how long this series is going for, but I'm collecting those as they come out. So yeah, I think I might have found that volume for a discount. I could be wrong. All right. Next book I got here was one that it's an epic collection. It was one that has actually, this might be its 3rd printing, if I'm not mistaken. But this was a epic that when it came out, I kind of passed on. I wasn't huge into the character, and I didn't really have much else in the collection for this character. So I was like, I think I'll pass on that. And then I saw it on sale on IST for like $16, and I'm like, that's a pretty good deal for an epic. And I do have some stuff of this character in another corner of my collection, and that is Iron Fist, the first epic collection here, The Fury of Iron Fist. And I've heard some good things about this epic. Obviously some good creators here on this. You have Chris Claremont, John Byrne, and Larry Hama, I want to say. Let me see here. Yeah, Larry Hama as illustrator, and John Byrne also as illustrator. But yeah, if anything, this is gonna look pretty. But obviously, you know, with Chris Claremont, I can trust that this is gonna be pretty decent. I think this is probably before his run on X-Men. I think this is probably stuff he did before he got into that role. That's some pretty cool Iron Man art going on there. But yeah, this collects issues. This collects Marvel Premiere numbers 15 through 25, Iron Fist 1 through 15, and Marvel Team Up 63 through 64. There's the back there. So yeah, I think this might be the only standalone Iron Fist epic we have. Actually, I don't think we have any other Iron Fist epics that have been solicited or released. Obviously, you have the Power Man Iron Fist epics, which I do own. I think 4 of them, excuse me. So I definitely intend to read those, but you can see here, pick this up for a decent deal. It was on a damage sale, not the spine's a little creased, but it's nothing to cry about. So there's that. So really excited to get that. All right, moving on here. We picked up this book, which it's interesting. A couple weeks ago, I was sharing my Goodreads year in review with my friends, and I talked to them. I'll give them my review of King of Nowhere, and they recommended me to pick up Ice Cream Man because it's written by the same writer, and they told me that if I liked King of Nowhere, that I would really like Ice Cream Man. And sure enough, I went ahead and picked it up, and I got the nice oversized hardcover volume 1 here, the Sunday edition as it's called, and I couldn't tell you how many issues this collects because I don't have that with me. I'm gonna assume this is like 1 through 12 or 1 through 15 or whatever. But yeah, they said it's a really good series, and I'm really, really excited to read this. You can see here the spine, just an amazing book here by Image. So really hyped to read this. This is one of those series that, again, my friends were reading as it was coming out on the Crackle Comics podcast. I don't think I ended up ever reading any of the issues, so I'll be really excited to see kind of what this is about. So, just a brand new series, no backstory with it. It's just completely, it's an Image series, so I'm really excited to see kind of what that's about. All right, moving on here. This is a very lengthy section, so just bear with me. Next thing I picked up here was volume 4 of Low. And this collects, this is Ticini and Remender, or I guess Remender and Ticini, I don't know who we put first there. This collects issues 16 through 19 of Low. So yeah, really, really excited to pick this up. I think there's only 2 more volumes left. I don't know how many volumes of this series there is. I think this might only be 6 volumes long. But you can see here some artwork. This is actually the cover for the volume. So yeah, really excited. Different artwork going on here. Really like the style of this art, and really excited to read this. I haven't been disappointed by a lot of Rick Remender stuff. I think it's going to be a good read. So we'll give it a look there. Another book I picked up on a damage sale, got this book for like I think $2 or $3, which is a pretty insane deal, is the 3rd Rebirth volume for Nightwing. So recently got the 1st volume for Nightwing at I think 2nd and Charles about 2 months ago at this point. So really excited to get this one. This collects issues 16 through 21 of Nightwing. So I've heard some really good things about this series. And then even now, the most recent Nightwing series that's out, I've heard some really good things about that too. So really hyped to give these a read at some point. But you can see here kind of that going on. So, slowly finding these Rebirth trades. They're all pretty readily available, but I'm not in a huge rush to find all of them. Just as I find them, I don't really collect a lot of the Rebirth stuff. I collect like Superman, Nightwing, Batman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, Flash. So, kind of like your staples really, but yeah, really excited to jump into those at some point. And I think they're going to be quick reads too, so that's even better. All right. Next book I got here was another series that I heard a lot of good things about, and when I wanted to pick it up, it's another Image series, and that is Radiant Black Volume 1. So a lot of people have compared this really closely to Invincible. Even on the back here it says, for fans of Invincible and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comes a brand new series from acclaimed writer Kyle Higgins. So, this collects issues 1 through 6 of Radiant Black. So, you can see here kind of what that is. It's the same. It's a similar storyline, I think, to Invincible, but obviously I haven't read it yet, so I'm not gonna make any judgments on it. But really excited to pick that up for a decent price there. I think I got a deal on that one as well, maybe. I'm not sure, but there's that. All right. I try to keep these in alphabetical as much as I can, so that's kind of why I'm jumping around between different types of collections here. All right, so the next book I got here is a chunky book, and that is Volume 7 of Sin City, titled Hell and Back. So yeah, pick this up. This book is definitely worth $25. It's interesting how all of the Sin City volumes have been the same price, but like Volume 6 compared to this is like half the thickness. So I think that's interesting how they price these books, but it is Frank Miller, so I guess they're just, like whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, really nice paperback here. And as I mentioned before, I know the first 4 volumes I have are like digest size, and these are more, standard size paperbacks. I mean, I'm not going to spend more time trying to hunt down those volumes. I'd rather just have it all and read it at some point. So there's that. All right. So some other paperbacks I picked up. These were all on discount too, which I thought was a pretty good pickup. This one is Spider-Woman. So this does cross over with a couple of Spider-Woman, obviously. You got Spider-Gwen, you have Spider-Woman, obviously, and then Silk. So this does fill a gap of issues that I needed for Spider-Woman, at least. And I'm pretty sure that these are also fill-ins for Silk and Spider-Gwen, I think. I would have to check to see if these double dip with the hardcovers I have for Spider-Gwen or the Silk paperbacks. But regardless, I think this was a pretty good pickup. This was like maybe $5 or $6. So, and it has a cover price of $30, which is really expensive for a paperback like this. I mean, this should not be more than $20 in my opinion. But yeah, here's that. So I picked that up for a decent price. I've seen that float around a couple places, and I've been meaning to pick it up. It's just something I just didn't really prioritize to pick up, but I'm glad I got it. All right, next book I got here was another one, a nice small book to probably fit into a read at some point here. And that is the Star Wars Obi-Wan mini-series here, A Jedi's Purpose. So this did come out, I think, at the time of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show. Obviously, Synergy, trying to capitalize off of the hype of that show. But it looks like this takes place during the Clone Wars. So it's another kind of Obi-Wan story there, but... No, I'm excited for this. I got this on sale too. So, for anyone who's curious how I get these on sale, I just poke through In Stock Trades' damage sale and I find these, and this one's not even damaged. So I was able to get this for a decent price. Typical trade there. But yeah, this is just 5 issues. So you can see here some of the images in there. So nice little paperback to get there. All right, and then actually, to finish off our haul here, I have two more books that I think are the biggest ones of the list here, and definitely ones I was very hyped to get. The first one here is a series that the first compendium came out like last year, and took about a year for us to get the second one, but now that we have it, the whole series is collected, so now I can actually sit down and go through this whole series and read it and enjoy it. And that is Starman Compendium Volume 2 by James Robinson. This collects a bunch of stuff, Starman 43 through 81, and there's a bunch of other tie-ins and miniseries and stuff like that. So you can see here the back, and then this. Interesting, and I've heard a lot of stuff about it online. You know, this is a glossy like cover here for this compendium, whereas the first volume had like a matte finish to it, so not as glossy. I don't give a shit. I know some people complain about it. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change my reading experience at all for the book. So I'm just happy to have this, right? I mean, I know my friends have them collected in omnis, you know, that are super out of print now at this point. But yeah, really, really excited to read this. The art in this looks amazing. I'm just really excited to dig my teeth into this and enjoy it for what it is, you know. So I will say this compendium feels a little flimsier though than the other one did. So not sure what that is, but you know, I dealt with the same thing with the Invincible compendiums. They're just, when you have such a large amount of books in a paperback, you're going to have a little bit of flimsiness there. It's just, you know, if you don't have a hardcover, that's basically what you got to deal with. So it is what it is. So, but yeah, really, really excited to have that fully collected now, so I can dive into that anytime I want. And I do think it's going to be sooner than later because I've heard so much good stuff about that series, and I'm really hyped to dig in there. And, you know, honestly, this is a kind of an aside before I get into the last book, but really, you know, when it comes to movies this year for Marvel, like, I don't really have many books I need to read in anticipation for those movies, right? Like, my Ant-Man, I'm reading is pretty much all caught up. Captain Marvel, I have some books to read, but that's not until July, so I really have a lot of good gaps here to kind of fill with reading some other long series that I've wanted to read for so long. So, yeah, that's kind of an aside, but anyways, we'll get into the last book here, which is a book that I was really hyped for. So story with this, I did pick up the first volume paperback of this series like a while ago, and turns out that that series never got a second volume printed, or it never got reprinted. So I was kind of shit out of luck there. I wasn't aware of it, and I just got screwed there. So when this was announced that the omnibus was coming out for this, I was really excited, and I'm like, okay, well, let me just wait for this and pick it up. And that is the Sleeper Omnibus by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. So this is one of the very few series that I have left to read of Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Between this and Reckless, I think those are the only two that I have yet to read from the creative group there. And very much excited to sit down and read both of them. You can see here, this collects a bunch of stuff here, and it doesn't say it on the back, so you'll have to just look it up. But yeah, there's that, there's the back, the spine, really nice spine there. And yeah, I'm really, really, really pumped to read this. You know, I love that creative group, and I'm just very excited to see kind of what that story is about. So yeah, that's my haul here. Not really much, wow. Yeah, just a lot of stuff. 26 minutes. This might be probably the longest comic section I've had, but I just wanted to get all these, you know, shown so I can put them in my collection and move on. So, yeah, thanks for watching this section of the video. Alright guys, welcome into the Lego section here for haul video number 132. So yeah, as I mentioned, you know, it's no buy January for me, so I've been slowly building some sets and just trying to get caught up on my building. Definitely need to pick it up a little bit because I haven't really built as much as I wanted to, but I have a weekend here where I can sit down and build some sets, which will be nice. But yeah, I did get a couple gifts. You know, did get a couple sets here. One of them, the first one I'll show is from my girlfriend for Christmas, which was one of the sets I really wanted. So thanks again to Monica for getting that for me. But yeah, really not a lot of sets that I needed to pick up towards the end of this year. I mean, as I mentioned, you know, between like the end of December, like the end of November up until Christmas, there's really a dead period there where there's no releases. So not really much to pick up. And honestly, after my no buy January, I'm probably not going to pick up any sets because everything's still going to be full price. So definitely going to wait for that first sale. Usually around March, April time is when they, you know, Target comes back with those sales they do for Lego. But yeah, I'll show off the sets I got here though. The first one here was one that I wanted to get. It's a helmet set that I've put off getting for a while, just because I wanted to, wait to find a place in my collection for this, number one, but also just wanted to give my girlfriend some stuff to think about getting me for Christmas, right? Because last year I went ahead and bought so many sets before Christmas, and I kind of eliminated a lot of the ideas from her, so there's that. But anyways, here, the first set I picked up was the Mandalorian helmet. So really hyped for this. Obviously, we got the Boba Fett helmet a couple years ago, back in 2020. So here in 2022, or I guess now 2023, we have this. And I do apologize, I ripped the box a little bit there, but it's not a big deal. This box is gonna get thrown away. I don't keep the boxes anymore. But really excited to get this. This is I will say this is an improvement on the design of Boba Fett. I feel like the front looks a little bit more curved off versus Boba Fett's. Not to say Boba Fett's looks bad per se, but this definitely looks a lot cleaner in look. But yeah, this was a long time coming. I think a lot of people expected this at least a year ago, but Lego, just decided to wait and get it out now. So I'm really excited for the helmet sets coming this year. We're supposed to be getting Commander Cody and Captain Rex, so really, really excited to get those. It's nice that they're going to be doing some prequels related helmets now, but yeah, really excited to get that set. And again, thank you, Monica, for getting that for me for Christmas. Okay, these next two sets were sets I got as kind of a gift to myself for Christmas. One of them I got on sale on Amazon, so I had money saved up for a gift card, and then I also saw it on sale for 20% off, so I basically got this set for free, which was great. And that is the Lego Star Wars 75325, The Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter. So I remember when this set first got released and announced, and there was a lot of backlash with this set regarding the price at $70 or $60. A lot of people thought that was overpriced for 412 pieces and only a couple minifigures. And when I saw it, I remember telling Monica, like, I am not spending $60 on this. I will wait for that 20% off sale and pick it up for $48. And sure enough, that's what I did, because once Christmas time rolled around, this set went on sale, and I picked it up for a much more decent price. So my plan with this set is, once I build it, I do plan to display this and probably replace the Razor Crest with this. Obviously space is a huge issue for me right now with sets, so I'm just trying to think about how I can rotate sets out and still keep them in my collection, but just rotate them out, as I get new sets and stuff like that. So and I think this one will display a lot nicer than the Razor Crest. The Razor Crest, unfortunately, is very hard to put on like a stand to show it flying and stuff, so there's that. But yeah, really hyped to get this, and definitely nicer to get it for free. That's always a good thing. And then the last set I picked up here was one I really bought kind of on a whim, and it was like December 31st. It was the last day of my no-buy, or before my no-buy January, so I wanted to pick this up because I love this show, and as soon as the set was announced, I was like, I have to have this, and I picked it up, and that is the Lego Office Lego Ideas set. Yeah, this set's amazing. Just the incredible amount of detail, the incredible amount of Easter eggs in this set, the minifigures. I mean, there's nothing that's not to love about this set. I mean, it's just so iconic. My girlfriend and I have been rewatching The Office. This is now my third watch through of The Office, and with this set, I'm actually considering looking online. I found a couple of places I can buy some custom like display case thing for this. I think I could probably just get away with finding one that's like a generic size for this to fit in, but yeah, I really want to protect this because the minifigures in it are so valuable. Yeah, this is just a great set, and I'm excited to get this. 120 bucks is a lot, unfortunately, for this, I feel like, but for the amount of minifigures you're getting, all of them of which will probably never show up in another set again, it's definitely worth it, I think, in my opinion. And this is certainly one set where if in the future, if it goes on sale at some point, I will consider getting another one, because I think this set will do extremely well in retirement. I don't see any scenario where this set does not do good in retirement. I mean, just the amount of minifigures in it, the exclusiveness of the set, I think is going to be good. I'm going to hold off until I find a sale for it to pick one up, but for right now, I'm just really hyped to have it and to build it. So there's that. But yeah, that has been my Lego haul here for you guys. Not many sets, but again, I still have plenty to build. Working on the Inquisitor's scythe right now from Obi-Wan, so there's that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this segment of the video. Alright guys, thank you so much again for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and again, I hope you guys had a great holiday season and are enjoying the new year. I certainly am. It's going to be a great year for reading, for building, so always looking forward to that. But again, I will see you guys next video, and I will see you on the flip side. Peace.